You know what I think one of the worst things that's happened to us recently is it's only recently that we've had an argument about what makes something true. That's uh, that's a mind blower. You know, when I was a kid, we had three news channels, just three, and if it was on the news, it was the truth. You know, just like if you want to know how to spell a word, you went to the dictionary. That's how it's spelled. Uh, and if a scientist said something or the president said something, you were like, that's the truth. Must be the truth. Who, what, you know, those people. It was too big a responsibility. They wouldn't lie, right? And in recent years, and you can guess where I lay the blame, but that's not the point. In recent years, we've had a real problem with the idea of true and false, and fake. What's fake news? Um, Real news. Link is back there causing trouble. Uh, yeah. So I hasten to add, I am not a pundit. I'm not a political expert. I don't even remember a lot of things from civics classes in school. I, to my shame, like a lot of Americans, I've forgotten how all this stuff works. So I'm not going to propose that I can tell you uh, with beyond a shadow of a doubt what things are true and what things are false. But I'd like to I would like us to come back to the belief that things are true and false. They are absolutely true and absolutely false. This is a blue shirt. It doesn't matter how much we say this shirt is purple. Maybe that's the wrong choice because it might look purple on your screen. You could say the shirt is pink all day long, and that won't make it pink. It's still blue. Um, so I wanted to talk today about how I decide what I believe is true. Just methodology, okay? Um, One of those has to do with the source. If the information comes from a source that has a reputation for responsible reporting, I'm more inclined to believe that, and I think that's reasonable. If I read an article on the internet and they don't cite any sources, they don't provide links to any sources, uh, or it's anonymous, I'm less likely to believe that source. I was looking at a site the other day where all of their references, all of their support was from their own site. So they'd say, this is the proof, and you click on that, and it goes to another page of their same site. Sketchy to me, you know. Um, and if an individual has a reputation for uh, being responsible with facts, then I'm more inclined to believe that. And if a person has a reputation for not being responsible with facts, and that's been, shown to lie consistently, that's somebody we should be less inclined to believe. Now, I also want to make a point about fake news. I think we should be honest about the fact that the news we watch is probably biased. Biased is not the same as fake. In biased news, they'll present something that's true or factual and give it a twist or an angle or a conjecture and say, well, this probably means this, or, obviously this is what's going to result from this. But it's, uh, there is a journalistic code, and journalists are really, they're religious about this. In traditional journalism, you have to have multiple sources. They don't cite their sources. There's a code, they can't make up facts. They have to vet everything. And generally speaking, in a responsible, respectable news organization, they don't run with it unless it's an established fact. Now from there, yeah, I think the news gets slanted. Slanted doesn't mean false. False is when it's absolutely not factual. They're saying things that are not true. I think it would be great for us, in our best interest, to start to differentiate between those two things. Um, yeah, I can live with some bias. I mean, I watch biased news. I do. Uh, um, and maybe our biased news sources are selective in what they report, right? Um, because they want to support what we already believe. We know this is going on. I hope you know this is going on the left and on the right. Um, but I think we need to start to be careful. We need to start to get the truth out there, and that means that we have to embrace it even if it doesn't support our narrative. I've discovered a couple of things that were not convenient for me to believe as a Democrat. I've discovered some things, and I consider it a personal responsibility to call those things out and say, guys, we've been saying this, and that's not true. Here's the video. I don't care if it supports what we believe. And I believe we should clean up our own side of the street, because right now we're saying, look, you lied. Oh, look, you posted something fake. And it again, it doesn't get taken down because the criticism is coming from the other side. That's not working. I think we need to start to police ourselves if we really are interested in truth. Not everybody is interested in truth. Some people are interested in winning at all costs, or whatever fills their bank account or gives them more power. We know this. There are people like that. But let's you and me not be those people. Let's you and me be people who prefer truth, even if it doesn't line up with our belief system. One of the things we can start doing is being responsible posters, vetting things that we've heard, really not posting things that don't check out, looking at the articles, not just the headlines that we post. I've been guilty of this too. We all do it. Because we have to help scoop ourselves back into into a society that has a way of finding out what's true and what's false, and believes that. If there's, we used to trust the FBI and the CIA if there's an investigation and they had a result, and now all of these venerated sources, these trusted sources, which are not infallible, but now everything's been called into question. Every expert, everybody has been called into question, and made untrustworthy. But the bottom line is, you have to want to know. You have to really value what's factual over what's convenient. And that's my thought today. Thanks for listening.